Sara Fainberg, I'm wondering with you out loud, because people are warning of this being some form of, a renewed Cold War, because at this point the United States is just wagging its fingers. But Bashar Assad staying in power there, I mean, the Russians, what is their vested interest in that respect?
The Russian interest is to keep Bashar al-Assad in power as long as possible, for several reasons. The first reason is the territorial expansion of ISIS, which has become a direct threat to the direct security threat to the Russian Federation. As you know, the Emirate Caucasus joined ISIS in June, and it has become a major concern. The second reason is that Vladimir Putin is traveling to the UN to speak at the UN General Assembly, and he wants to negotiate the Syrian battlefield on Russian terms. And what Russia is trying to do is to keep a pivotal role in shaping the Middle East order. And it's in competition with Iran, with Saudi Arabia, with the US and Turkey. And Russia wants to have the lion's share in this deal.
Whether there are Russian troops on the ground. I mean, with all the eyes in the sky.
And I was wondering, with all the satellite images, everything.
And smartphones and whatever. Why? Do you know?
Because you have two levels. One level is the level of reality, of what is happening in reality on the ground. It is known that since 2011, you do have Russian troops, you do have Russian advisors on the ground, and what they've sent is a built-up of those forces. They're reinforcing those forces, although on the ground it is not leading to a significant change of the balance of forces. The second level is the media war that is currently going on, and we are part of this media war here at I-24. This information, as you know, was released by the Israeli intelligence services, and that is why Moscow is very angry at Israel, and that is why actually Bibi Netanyahu is traveling to Moscow next Monday. There is a conflict that is starting between Moscow and Jerusalem because the Russians are accusing the Israelis of being manipulated by the Americans in order to create a sort of scandal that the Americans can use and hold against Russia. So some people would say that the EU was dead long ago, but it's not the death of the EU. It just illustrates the complete failure of the European Union, but also of the United States, of Russia, of Saudi Arabia, and of Turkey.
Of the world.
Of dealing with the Syrian question. And here what it does illustrate is that it's a shared responsibility, that those refugees are the results of a complete shared responsibility. I have to say that France, for example, my native country, has decided to conduct strikes against ISIS in Syria. They wanted to do this from the very beginning, and the United States prevented them from doing so. So now it's too late. So my only point would be that in 20 years from now, there will be probably a reflection on this shared responsibility over the Syrian tragedy.